Imagine, if you will, a world where everything we know is turned upside down. A world where the very fabric of reality is ripped apart and nothing is as it seems. This is the world we enter when we consider what would happen if a nuclear bomb were detonated in the deepest part of the ocean, the Marianas Trench. Some may think that the answer is simple, that the bomb would just explode harmlessly at the bottom of the ocean, but the truth is far more complicated than that. Join me as we explore this topic and discover the strange and unexpected consequences of detonating a nuclear bomb in the Marianas Trench. Before we get started, if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can be the first to see our latest videos. Today we're going to be exploring a fascinating topic that's sure to blow your mind. What if you detonated a nuclear bomb in the Marianas Trench? Before we get started, let's take a moment to understand what the Marianas Trench is. The Marianas Trench is the deepest part of the ocean, located in the western Pacific Ocean. It's roughly 1,500 miles long and 45 miles wide, with a maximum depth of nearly 36,000 feet. It's an incredibly inhospitable environment, with crushing pressures and freezing temperatures that make it almost impossible for humans to explore. Now, back to our question, what would happen if you detonated a nuclear bomb in the Marianas Trench? The answer is not as straightforward as you might think. In fact, it's a question that scientists have been grappling with for decades. Let's start with the explosion itself. If you were to detonate a nuclear bomb in the Marianas Trench, it would create a massive explosion. The energy released by the bomb would create a shockwave that would travel through the water, and the resulting blast would be felt for miles around. But that's just the beginning. The explosion would also create a massive plume of radioactive water that would rise to the surface. This radioactive plume would be carried by ocean currents and could potentially contaminate large areas of the ocean, as well as nearby land masses. But what about the effects on the ecosystem in the Marianas Trench itself? The truth is, we don't know for sure. The depths of the trench are largely unexplored, and we have very little understanding of the delicate balance of life that exists there. However, we do know that the explosion would create a shockwave that could potentially kill or displace many of the organisms that live in the trench. One potential consequence of a nuclear explosion in the Marianas Trench that's often overlooked is the potential for a tsunami. The explosion would create a massive disturbance in the water, and this disturbance could potentially trigger a tsunami that would devastate nearby coastlines. But let's not get too carried away with doomsday scenarios. It's important to remember that detonating a nuclear bomb in the Marianas Trench is illegal under international law, and the chances of it actually happening are extremely slim. So why even bother asking the question? Well, as with many scientific thought experiments, exploring this question can help us better understand the world around us. It can also help us prepare for the unlikely event of a nuclear explosion in the ocean. Before we wrap up, let's take a look at a couple of stories related to the topic. In 1958, the United States conducted a series of nuclear tests in the Pacific Ocean, including one on the surface of the water near Bikini Atoll. The resulting explosion was far more powerful than expected, and the resulting fallout contaminated a large area of the ocean and nearby islands. Another interesting story is that of the H-bomb lost at sea. In 1966, a B-52 bomber carrying 4 hydrogen bombs collided with a tanker off the coast of Spain. 3 of the bombs were recovered, but the 4th was lost at sea. For decades, the bomb remained missing until it was finally located in the Mediterranean Sea in 2003. While the bomb had not detonated, the incident highlights the potential dangers of nuclear weapons in the ocean. So there you have it, the strange and unexpected consequences of detonating a nuclear bomb in the Marianas Trench. While the chances of this actually happening are slim, it's an important question to consider as we continue to explore and understand the world around us. That's it, we've reached the end of the video. If you made it this far, you're one of the best people out there. Before you go, make sure to give us a like to let us know you enjoyed the video. And if you have any questions that pop into your head in the middle of the night, feel free to leave them in the comments below so we can answer them for you.